to compete in the real race, prove everything on the track, and continue to pursue the everlasting racing glory as your routine. A single clack of your wheel. The passion is engaged. All you have to do is to commit, to feel the grip in your hand, to perform every precise entry, to deliver the perfect friction circle, and to master the art of driving. You may ask, where's my race crew? And I would say, leave it to Khan's pit. Ares, the wheelbase that was built to master the competitive sim racing scene. With its powerful skew pole motor and high-precision optical encoder, Ares delivers an unparalleled driving experience with highly detailed force feedback. 290 GP, deemed to become the true next generation. It breaks the planar constraints through a unique 3D ergonomic design and redefines everything about the Formula steering wheel, featuring a full carbon fiber front housing, ensuring a light yet ultra-rigid experience. The MagFlip rocker-type paddles achieve the same functionality as Formula One setups. The CDP system will push your performance to the next level. Focus and execute the agile maneuver, all within just a blink of an eye. With this zealous combination of Ares and 290 GP, the roar of the road thrills both your hands and soul.
Welcome to Bathurst and welcome to the Conspit MX5 Cup final race. It's an all-Conspit evening. We've got the MX5 Cup final race from Bathurst, and right after that we've got the Conspit Formula final race as well. That will be at Silverstone, but for now we are with the MX5s on the mountain. It is Augusto ahead of Enisimovas, Abdulskis and Barbukov. They're all on 1,200 points and they are all here today. That's the tie at the top of the standings, and it will and that's what will be decided today. It's Yetzi on provisional pole position for now. Highest of the championship challengers is Anisimos in fourth. Right behind him is Augustin. Right behind him is Abdulskis. Barbukov has just set a lap and he's gone second, so he's gone highest of the championship challengers, as anybody that crosses the line now can still complete the lap. Anybody that crosses the line now will end their qualifying session, so everybody who managed to start one will be able to finish it. Yetzi finishes his run. Here's Anisimos, another one of those that can challenge for the championship. Heads into the final turn. Augusto goes up to fourth now. He improves. Can Anisimos find anything here on this final lap? He does, up into fifth, but not enough to go any higher. As the time ticks down, everybody pretty much into the pits, and I'm joined, as always, by Laurinus.
Hi, Gustas, and hello, everyone. Welcome to this yet another round of the final race for the Conspit MX5 series. Qualifying session is very important here at the Bathurst circuit, and most of the drivers proved what they came here for. Yetzi is not too high in the championship standings. He's currently 10th with 976 points, so he's not in contention in any of the battles for the prizes. We have those four highest ranked drivers who have equal amount of points. That's Augusto Anisimovas, Abdulskis, Barbukov, and then we have Melika, who is also high with the points, 50 points behind his four rivals, but this is a double point race, so he does he hold a chance to win this championship if anything goes wrong for his rivals?
The others would have to not finish, pretty much. That's the only real way
Okay, so we have
to do it.
So we basically have a four-way battle here for the champion's crown. After the regular season has ended, we have this final race as usual. Double points for the finishing positions. So, but yeah, basically whoever comes out on top of the four contenders, the driver will be the champion of this series. He doesn't have to win, he has to finish up higher than his main rivals. 45 seconds till we go green. Barbukov, who is currently 4th in the standings, well, he has equal amount of points. He is currently on the highest position to finish off the first race of the final, higher than his main rivals. Augusto, he is currently 4th, Anasimovas 5th, and who else do we have? Abdulskis. Abdulskis is only 10th, so currently
down in 10th. So still there is the reverse grid that the drivers can look forward to. It's the top 10 reversed for race 2, and that always throws up surprises, and I'm sure it will here at Bathurst. As the lights come on, it's the Conspit MX5 Cup final, and we're green for the first race of the afternoon. Yetzi and Barbukov side by side. Down into turn 1 they go. And I think Yetzi's gonna... Actually, they're still gonna be side by side through there. Augusto and Anisimovas battling. Yetzi drops back into second, but he's gonna have the slipstream going up the hill and then back down here. There's still Witten right behind them, who can challenge for a position. Can Barbukov hold on here? Once they head up the mountain, it's really going to be difficult to overtake. To the outside goes Yetzi. Can he hold on? Backs out of it and actually goes very wide as there's a crash behind Anisimovas and who else? Oh no, and that's going to be day done for him. I think Augusto involved in that one, so Abdulskis now moves up to 5th. He started down in 10th through all that chaos. Barbukov up into first ahead of Witten and Yetzi, who went wide, tried to overtake, went wide, lost the position down to 3rd, and Barbukov looks in the best position right now to take that win, at least for race 1. Race 2 will be a different story, but really I think it's going to be a big challenge for Anisimovas to get back up into the top 10. Augusto might be able to do it. He's been quicker than those ahead. Yetzi sits right on the back of Witten. Remember, he's not in the championship fight, so he's racing for fun, racing for honors, but not racing for the championship and the Conspit prizes. The winner gets the Conspit Apex pedal set and a World Sim Series Premium subscription, as Marcinovski goes in to the wall, and more cars going into the wall. Wow, a lot of cars going into the wall. That was Kulagin. Did somebody fly off the track?
Yep, I think someone faced connection issues. Flew right off the racetrack. Always looks very funny when the drivers have connection issues. The cars start flying around the racetrack. Was that Augusto?
I think Yetzi's making a move. Yetzi's made the move for second. He's gone up and he's actually gone round the outside through the kink here, and Piech battling for position as well. He's got Augusto coming through, who's already up into 7th after that contact in the beginning. Piech doesn't have the exit, and he's going to keep falling and falling and falling and losing positions. Abdusk is now into 4th place. He goes, started down in 10th. That's a real proper performance from him. As fastest lap of the race by Witten, and well, I'm not sure how that happened, but that, because nobody else pretty much has a lap. But it is still Barbukov in the lead, 1.1 seconds to the good at the front of the field, and Simos moves up to
11th now
because there was an accident down at turn 1, up to 11th now. So he's moving up the field. I said he doesn't have a chance at the top 10. Well, he just needs one more car to overtake or for somebody to have some kind of issue, and he'd be up. Malika goes up into 9th ahead of Lapo.
Kulgan keeps touching those walls. He wants to go a little bit faster than the track allows. There is no track limits here. The track limits are basically walls, and if you go a little bit too hot into the corner, you keep touching those walls, and sometimes nothing bad happens on AC platform, but sometimes even a slightest touch can damage your car badly, so you still the best opportunity for you to finish a race is to avoid those barriers, and Kulagin is actually really close to damaging his car, running wide here, finding a little bit more of a track limit. There was a patch of grass available. Oh, very defensive as usual in these Mazda MX-5 Cup races. Equally performing cars, identical setups, so everything is in the hands of the drivers, and sometimes they try to beat themselves, stick those elbows out, they don't avoid contacts. A very similar situation happens also in real-life MX-5 races when you have those crowded fields. We have 16 drivers here this afternoon for the final race of the Conspit MX-5 Championship. This is Lapo on Kulagin. Really close, using that slipstream into the chase. We'll try to repeat that move around the outside as Yetzi has made. Well, actually Yetzi made that move on the second chase corner, I believe, while he was able to hang around the outside, and Nesima was not making time. I think he has damage. He had a very big impact with the wall, and now he's basically stuck at 5.5 seconds, so Gustav running a little bit wide, but look at Abdulskis. He started 10th. He's now 4th. Still, it's a two-race...
he's running a great race, and with his rivals having issues, he's got a pretty good opportunity here of ending out the event second in terms of the championship point standings. Augusto, well, he won't catch up unless there's a collapse here for his race. Obviously, race 2 coming up, that might change things, but he's definitely in a good position here. As Augusto up into, well, I think he's actually defending because I think he was 6th, but he's up in the top 6, so he's recovered. He was down in 12th, I think. That's the furthest he dropped. As Augusto, he's got quite a bit of damage on his MX-5. Battle behind, though, between Malika and Tarchali for 7th spot. It's going to be difficult to make a move here on at the top of the mountain, but anything's possible in these MX-5 Cup cars. They go to the left, nothing doing, and I don't think, well, maybe he's going to try and go down the inside. Nope, not going to happen. Oh, and he gets surprised by the slower car into the barrier, and, well, that's how easy it is to make a mistake around Mount Panorama. As Malika goes from fighting for 7th to now down in 9th spot, and with some extra damage to help him out.
Lapo was also off the racetrack. His car is also damaged. This is good news for Anisimovas, who is still trying to battle for the championship. Barbukov is currently 1st, but if Anisimovas manages to reach that 10th spot in first race, well, his windshield is also shattered, but
his car doesn't look great either.
But he still have a straight wheel, though he's being chased down closely by Rizzo, and I've looked at the gap, and it's becoming tinier and tinier, so Anisimovas will start to feel pressure from behind. He's gaining on Lapo now, definitely. Lapo with a more seriously damaged car. I'm not sure if he'll be able to hold on to that position, so that's not fight over for Anisimovas. He can go up into P10, which then revert into pole position for race 2. All the cars will be fixed, as good as brand new vehicles, so he might have a chance if he will manage to finish off this race 10th. I'm not sure. I think it's not going to be hard for him to get into that 10th place, but it's going to be hard for him to defend from Rizzo. Rizzo has a more fresh car. This is your best recipe for good endings for the races. Just try to avoid contacts, try to avoid the chaos in the first laps in the MX-5 cars, and you could have a chance, as Malicha and Kulagin are side by side, starting their journey up into the mountain. It's close, but it's not going to be too easy here to find a spot to make an overtake, even with these tiny little cars. Remember the size difference we had recently in the 24 hours race with the GT3 cars.
12 hours.
12 hours race, yep, sure, of Sebring. Those MX-5s look tiny little cars compared to the big GT3s. Anisimovas up to 10th, Rizzo up to 11th. Still half a second between Anisimovas and Rizzo in the battle for pole position. As Malicha greets the wall, goes backwards, and there comes Anisimovas and Rizzo. And yep, Malicha still manages to stay in front. Touches the wall, and that's not life too easy for Anisimovas. Anisimovas dropping down to P11. Rizzo found a better spot around the slow cars, as Malicha still struggles and still kisses the walls. I think that's Lapo already gained on these cars. Lapo with an also seriously damaged car. Malicha without the headlights, and I think also having... Oh, that's serious damage, and I'm not sure if he should continue further to race here. Can he even steer to the left?
Well, we'll see. This one's going to be to the right. The next one's going to be to the left. He's gotten through the right-hander fine. Let's see what he can do through the left. Oh, he's really trying, but, well, tried too much, because he's run himself right off the road and spins out, and I think that's maybe a sign to stop and get that thing fixed, and I think that's exactly what he's doing. Yep, down into the pits, and that's, well, essentially a retirement. So Anisimovas in that 10th spot. Incredibly, he's in that 10th spot after those contacts at the beginning of the race. Kulagin versus Tarchali for 7th. Augusto has left these guys completely behind, although he's also got about 5 seconds to Marcinovski in front. Kulagin to the inside, and he's gonna make easy work of that one up into 7th. Looking at the front, Yetzi has really dropped off the back of Barbukov. I was expecting him to catch back up, considering his performance in the qualifying session. Not been able to do that. That's a surprise. A battle for the final spot on the podium. And that's Abdulskis, who's trying to go up into P3. Remember, started down in 10th. So much better race pace than qualifying pace. Looks like he couldn't get it done through that qualifying session. He's able to get it done in this race. He's in a very, very good position. And, well, if something happens to Barbukov in that second race, if he can get up into a podium spot here, he might even be in with a shot at a win of the championship. Probably wouldn't have expected to see him in that fight after qualifying. But still everything open again, and some of us, well, we'll see where he starts, but if he doesn't make some big mistake, he'll probably be on the front row of the grid. He might still go up to 9th and start 2nd, but a likely front row start and a fixed car crucially for him, as Abdulskis can't really get closer before coming on to the back straight. And, well, can't make the move. 7 minutes still to go in this one. We've passed half distance and left it behind. We'll see what these drivers can still come up with. Lang for P11 side by side, and gets the move done over Lapo, who, well, we remember his car is very, very damaged as well. He's keeping it on the road though, contrary to what's happening to Malicha, as Abdulskis trying to catch back up. I don't think he's got a shot at Yetzi. he's probably has to get a move on, because he's got Marcinovski marching behind him and might even catch up. So probably wants to get past ASAP. And clock ticking down. We'll see how many laps we have at the end of this one, but should be after they cross the line, should be 4 more. Looking at the clock, but we'll confirm that once we get to the start-finish line with the race leader Barbakov.
Yep, so a very similar, interesting situation, similar to what we have in the E-BaTCC championship. So Anisimovas is currently 10th. He's going for the pole position for second race. But you know what? He has 30 seconds penalty for the first race, 10 seconds penalty for the first contact with Augusto. I think I saw Anisimovas pulling out a very late defensive move, which was essentially more like blocking, and that caused that contact. And then when Anisimovas tried to rejoin, he caused even more contacts and crashes. So he received 20 seconds for the unsafe rejoin. He now has 30 seconds penalty. So even if he'll start 10th, if he'll finish 10th and start first, I don't think he stands any valid chance here, any possible chance here to go out as a winner. Even if he would manage to win the second race, he'll have 0 points for race 1. So it's basically just a drive till the finish line as Abdulskis goes around the outside on the back straight on Witten. And with 5 minutes on the clock, he moves himself into P3, so his championship hopes will definitely be very high up. I wouldn't say Augusto has no chance, actually. He is currently 6th, and if he'll finish as 6th, he'll start 4th. That's 5 places higher race start for race 2, and we usually know there's a lot of chaos in the second races when we have those top 10 places reversed. Augusto might also hold a chance in this championship. Oh, but actually Augusto also has a 10 seconds penalty for a contact with Mandici. So race 1 will not reward high points as Witten continues to lose places here. So he's now down to 5th.
Something's wrong. Did he have some damage maybe somewhere? Well, he does have damage. We don't know if that's recent. Looking at how much time he's lost, probably yes. So an interesting situation for this car. Abdulskis, though, on the back of Yetzi now, who's really dropped off of Barbakov. Something has happened to Yetzi as well. Doesn't look like he's got damage, but he's completely dropped off the back of Barbakov. Well, he was about 3 seconds behind, something like that. He's really dropped off, and it was the last lap where he did 2:36.5 was his lap time. Did he survive something, or did he still get damage? Down the hill they go, down the mountain they go, and this could be a chance for Abdulskis to actually move up into second. Would be an incredible race for him. Let's see what happens here. On to the straight they go, 0.4 of a second behind. The slipstream will be working hard. There's another battle between Augusto and Witten behind. And we'll see if Abdulskis can close up enough, but I don't think Yetzi has damage. Witten does, I'm sure of it, because he's been losing spots left and right, and he's going to lose another one. Augusto up into the top 5. Yetzi held on through the straight, and actually leader now coming into the final corner. He'll start the final lap of the race, so this will be only one more to go as Abdulskis to the outside down into the final corner. He wants to make that move. He wants those points. He'll stay on the outside. Yetzi holds on to that position. He'll have, well, 2 more opportunities, really. It's going to be down the next straight and then down the back straight once again. at the end of this lap. Barbakov, though, calmly in the lead, as wide from Yetzi, I think that was, and Abdulskis definitely has the overspeed now. He'll be rocketing down that straight. He's got the slipstream, he had the exit, he's going to go to the inside. Yetzi is going to leave him space. Yetzi tried to hold on the outside once. Let's see if he tries that again as Abdulskis pushes him to the side of the track and gets the position up into second he goes. And wow, what a performance from him so far. He'll have to hold on though, all the way at the top of the mountain and then down the back straight. That will be the difficult one. If he can do it. And Simov is now almost on the back of Rizzo, and might move up into 9th, but remember, a huge penalty coming his way. That won't affect the starting grid for the next race of today. And for that final race where everything will be decided, Yetzi only a 10th back. He's sitting on the back of Abdulskis for that second spot. I don't think he's going to make the move. I think he'll wait. He'll be patient. He'll wait until they get on the back straight, because if he's still in front, and only in front by a tiny margin, he would be in trouble. But now it's Abdulskis in trouble. Marcinovski 2 seconds back. He's not a threat in this one. Who'll get the good exit? Yetzi into the wall, and I think he's lost any opportunity. He's got damage on the front end. He tried to stay behind, but it's all fallen away from him, and Abdulskis, unless he hits a wall somewhere, he's going to finish second. And what a performance from 10th to 2nd in this first race. He'll be starting from 9th for the next one, but a dominant performance at the front. Barbakov overtook down into turn 1, and he's not looked back since. 12 seconds is his gap. He's definitely the favorite coming into the next one. Race 1 goes the way of Barbakov, and Abdulskis should be able to hold on, even though Yetzi closed on him through the chicane. It's not going to be enough. Abdulskis with, well, driver of the race, definitely, up into 2nd. As Yetzi finishes 3rd. Then comes Marcinovski, Augusto, Witten, Kulagin, Tarchali, Rizzo, only 6/10 back, and Anisimov couldn't get past. Also, he'll be on pole for the next one, but in the actual results, he'll fall way, way down as Lang... Augusto disconnected from the server. Let's see what will happen there. You've got the results on your screen. It's Barbakov, Abdulski, Yetzi, Marcinovski, Augusto, then Witten, Kulagin, Tarchali, Rizzo, Anisimovas, Lang, Mandici, Piech, and we'll see, I think next one should be Lapo incoming. And then Kovac, Malika, and Artemanov. Down in 17th. Lapo finishes 14th. Final few cars still to cross the line, as this will be the end of race 1, and we'll move on to the second race of the afternoon. It's another 20-minute race from Bathurst Mount Panorama, and that will decide what our championship standings will look like. Kovac will finish now, and then Malika will be the last car to finish. Remember, he had that damage. He was running well in the top 10, had the damage, and dropped all the way down to what is almost last. There was another driver 2 laps down, so probably more damage. As Kovac takes the flag, and Malika will be the next one as he comes around the final turn. And sideways through the final turn as well. Some extra damage. Oh, I don't think he's finished yet.
He did. I think he did, yep.
So in 16th, he takes the flag and will move on to race 2 of the afternoon. Remember, Barbakov will be starting all the way down in 10th, and Anisimovas will be starting on pole position. back to the track we go. It's going to be the final race of the afternoon. Simolas on pole position. He's got the best shot of victory in this race, though for Barbakov, even if Anisimos wins, he would only need to finish 9th to be ahead of him.
Yeah, that's going to be a very difficult job now for Barbakov. He'll have to hope for luck, actually, because when you have 9 cars in front of you, some of the things might go wrong. So this is the most important part for both Abdulskis and Barbakov. Anisimovas and Augusto, Anisimovas didn't receive any points in first race.
And we're green for this second race of the afternoon. Anisimos leads, and he should keep the lead down into turn 1. And it's a little bit of a traffic jam. Yetzi sideways, a little bit of contact there. Machinovsky being eaten up by Barbakov and Abdulski as they go side by side down the straight. Remember, we had a crash down into turn 2 in the last race. Let's see if they can keep it clean, or clean-ish this time, as Anisimos leads by a big gap at the front. Everybody else, though, coming in side by side. Rizzo in 3rd, Augusto in 5th, Barbakov down into 9th now. He's side by side with Yetzi.
Look at Abdulskis.
Yep, Abdulskis up into 7th. He's moving up spots, kind of moving up together with Barbakov, but he's moved up ahead of Yetzi, a spinner in the background. And I think that was Lapo involved in that one. Oh, more contact. Unfortunate. And Barbakov sitting right on the back of Yetzi there for position, and actually side by side with Yetzi, and he's going to be on the inside, definitely the preferred line at the top of the mountain. A little bit of a touch, but I think Barbakov's going to hold on to it. He does. Slots in 8th position for him now. Abdulskis running in 7th. He wants to get away from these guys, but Barbakov was so quick in that first race. I wouldn't be surprised if he might even catch up and get to the lead, but he needs to dispose of these cars quickly and efficiently. Everybody's in a slipstream train for now. Ooh, contact. A little bit of contact, but that may have even helped Abdulskis, who gets closer to Tarchali and might try and make the move. And he wants to keep as many cars between him and Barbakov as possible at all times. He'll probably not win in a straight fight. If he's cut cars between himself and Barbakov, he might have a shot at it still. Down in through the chase they go, and Abdulskis has moved up that position. Barbakov's going to go to the inside. He doesn't want to wait, and he'll go up into 7th. So there again, bumper to bumper, almost very sideways for Tarchali, who lets Yetzi through, essentially, as this is Witten and Kudlagin into the final turn. Who's going to get in front? Witten still, Witten in 2nd, Kudlagin trying to battle back. Who else is in a battle behind? Augusto is close to Rizzo.
Yeah. It's a chain of cars right now. This is the 2nd lap of the 2nd race, and Nisimovas is already 3 seconds ahead of Witten. So if not that mistake in first race, he might have had a chance here. He does have the pace when the car is in one piece, and he wants to use it to his own advantage as soon as possible, because when these cars in his rear view mirror are in a battle, they are not on full pace. Lots of moves happening on the racetrack. Yetzi was actually in front of Barbakov at one point, I believe. Abdulskis trying to battle out Rizzo, and he manages to do so. Barbakov still has to be defensive against the move of Yetzi. We've seen Yetzi making those moves around the outside, and Yetzi was the fastest driver in the qualifying session, side by side going up the mountain. That's gonna be close. Barbakov has to be careful, tries to leave as much space as possible to avoid contact, still has his nose slightly to the inside of the corner, manages to hold on to the position as we approach the chicane on top of the mountain. Barbakov should hold the place beautifully. Nice car control, so he just proves he won the first race not by accident. Has a very good car control all over the track. Oh, that's Rizzo into the wall. And
went off by himself. I don't think anybody else was involved in that. Has to be careful on getting back on the track. But Abdulskis making good moves. Pretty much he does need to finish first, though, if he wants to move ahead of Barbakov in those standings.
Still, if Barbakov finishes second, I believe the win would still go to Barbakov because he won the first race, not the second. If the drivers have equal amount of points, the win should go to the driver who finished first in the first race. And we have a couple of side-by-side situations. That's Yetsi also in the background. Oh, and Augusto into Kulagin, and that's definitely gonna be a penalty, I assume, because, well, you cannot overtake your rivals by beating them off the racetrack, and Augusto already has a penalty in first race, a 10 seconds penalty. He'll drop some places in that one. He should still stay in top 10 places for race 1. Abdulskis playing here a little bit careful. Barbakov a little touch with Yetsi. Yetsi managed to overtake Barbakov. I think that's the same scenario that we had one lap ago. Now Yetsi going defensive towards the inside of the racetrack and still leaving a little bit of room for Barbakov. Was that enough? No, it was not. Barbakov clipped the grass, went a little bit sideways. Now is forced to choose the outside line. Into turn 2, the Griffin's bent, trying to find grip there. It's not enough, and Yetsi stays in front. Abdulski still quite close to Augusto. Witten 3.2 seconds behind Anisimovas, so still battles all over the track. Abdulskis had a small look to the inside. Was not enough room, didn't have the overspeed. And he's currently a couple of places ahead of one place ahead of Barbakov. Oh, and actually that small peak into the inside going up the hill slowed down Abdulskis quite drastically. That is helping Barbakov to battle Yetsi. That's what happens when these cars are running so close to each other, and a tiniest mistake can cost you a couple of places. And I think that was not a very wise move from Abdulskis to try that overtake without trying to overtake your rival. All that he managed to achieve was slow himself down with narrowing the entry into the very important corner. Tries to hold on, though.
He's opened the back. More touches from the drivers. He's opened that gap again, and he's gotten very close to Augusto in front. For Barbakov, really, it's a race of not taking risk. That's the critical thing here for him. Don't get a penalty, don't get involved in anything stupid. He's got a big lead. He would need Abdulskis to really get forward, and I don't think he's really got a shot at the lead. Goes up into the podium spots, but Augusto will be coming back at him. They'll go side by side, and, well, gets pushed off the track. But it comes back out side by side. Not really, though. Augusto really driving a very aggressive race, and Barbakov trying to get past Yetsi, but he has to really weigh his options. Can't take too much risk. That's very, very important for him. More touching down the straight as Yetsi defends the inside. Barbakov stays behind, and really should probably wait for a mistake like Yetsi did now. Yetsi runs wide. Barbakov will have the speed down this straight and will get the slipstream from the car ahead as well. So this should be a pretty easy move, and I think he's got it done. Not quite just yet, as Yetsi sends it to the inside and keeps the position. So Barbakov backed out of it. Abdulskis now going to the outside into the cutting, but can't do anything there. He's still stuck behind. Made the move too early on the back straight, and is now suffering by having to stay behind. At the same time, Witten and Anisimos have run away 6 seconds as Abdulskis is thinking of going to the outside. He just has to wait, just has to have patience. You can't overtake at the top of the mountain or it's super duper risky. There's no point for him to do that. He needs to stay behind. He can get past where he can get past. He's in a great position to still finish second in this championship. He doesn't want to lose that, I'm sure. And still in with an outside shot of a win. He'd need the cards to fall very, very right for him. And he's going to have a good exit here. He should have the overspeed. The problem might be, again, that Augusto will be ahead once they come into the chicane. But actually, Abdulskis was just that little bit further away, and he might actually be able to make the move into the chicane. Not before. It's side by side behind, though, between Barbakov and Yetzi. As Abdulskis makes it side by side, he gets in front, but again, he's going to be on the outside into the chicane. And will he get pushed off again? He does get pushed off again. I can't believe he went for the same move again.
Yeah, but what do you have to do? This is basically
find a way to go to the inside, because you've tried the outside, you got pushed off once, it's going to happen again. He gets tagged in the back by Yetzi, and this is how your race falls away. I mean, Augusto, well, he's definitely going to get a penalty for what he's been doing. Actually, maybe Barbakov hit him, because Barbakov's falling back. I think he's going to want to give that position back up. But really,
yep, that's what he's doing.
Some of the blame goes to Abdulskis. He's really managing this race. He was managing it terribly. Why would you try and make those moves at the top of the mountain? Why would you go to the outside when you've been pushed off once and you can see that that driver is way too aggressive? He's in a difficult spot now. He needs to move forward if he still wants to be second, although Anisimovas obviously has that penalty from the race before. So it's not as critical, but still has to keep that in mind, as Barbakov is now behind Malika. So Barbakov ran into the back of him, gave up that spot. Smart move, because he might avoid a penalty here, and that is critical for him if he wants to take the win of this championship. Still 8 minutes to go, so still time for things to change. I think Witten has been closing up to the back of Anisimovas for the past few laps, not by much, but by just a tiny margin. As well, look to the inside by Malika, and that's brave, and well, he's going to give up a spot to Barbakov. Well, that's why you don't overtake there, because that's what's going to happen. If you come in side by side, maybe you can try it, but trying to make a move into that super fast left-hander, really, it's going to end one of two ways. Either you crash or you give up a spot. Into the wall a little bit goes Barbakov, as he starts closing back up to Abdulskis. We'll see if Abdulskis fights this one. Would be probably smart not to. Doesn't really have a shot at being ahead of Barbakov. It's probably a better idea just to stick behind him and try and move forward in the field in that way. But we'll see what Barbakov does as well. Will he try to make that move? Doesn't. He's trying to run a safe race as well.
He doesn't need to. He can finish behind Abdulskis in P7, so he just needs to make sure that both of the drivers, well, importantly himself, finishing this race. Augusto has some penalties. Augusto, by the way, received a 5-second penalty for both of the contacts. So first contact was only a warning. The second contact with Abdulskis cost Augusto 5 seconds. So Augusto also has tiny bit of chance here to finish in higher points. He's now third, 2 seconds away of Yetzi, and 4 and a bit seconds away from Torciali. As Abdulskis gaining on Torciali and tries to be defensive on Barbakov. I'm pretty sure Barbakov is just sitting there. It's only 6 minutes on the clock as the drivers are positioned now. Barbukov would become the champion, and Abdulskis, oh, that's not gonna end well for Abdulskis. This is a very interesting final race for the MX-5s. There we go. I think that's job done for Barbukov. And this contact, someone, that's Yetzi into the wall. Yetzi going slow. Abdulskis up into P4, Barbukov up into P5. I wonder what penalty gonna come into Abdulskis' way, because, well, he was definitely not side by side with the car that he had contact with. Who was that? Tarchali? It was Tarchali that Abdulskis had the contact. Tarchali now dropped to P8. Yetzi might have huge damage, not too much.
Many changes here. Again, it's only really the leader that's driving through calmly, but obviously he has big penalties from race 1, so really any positions here, it's just gonna well, it's a question of where he'll line up against Augusto in this for the final spot on the championship podium. I think Augusto's penalties in race 1 were much smaller, but he might still have a problem there, and that will only really be calculated after these 2 races. Obviously this race as well, Augusto's been involved in quite a few incidents, so he's still got sure penalties hanging over his head as Rizzo retires from the race with 4 minutes to go, so it's just 2 laps to the end.
So Augusto has 5 seconds penalty for race 2. He got 10 seconds in race 1. Currently he has 5 seconds in this race, so he's not losing position here. If he finishes off 6 seconds ahead of Abdulskis, he'll still hold that 3rd position. But that's not going to be enough, definitely, for him to overtake Barbukov, who's currently 5th, and he won race 1. It's in Malika in the background. Abdulskis, well, he doesn't know the penalty size that the rivals have now. If he'll manage to put it up slightly and pull away from Barbukov, though, yeah, Abdulskis... Oh, yep, Abdulskis also received a 10 seconds penalty, so that's game over for Abdulskis. And I think Barbukov can sit quietly in P5 or whatever position. He should easily take the win, because his main rivals, well, they had even more bad luck.
And again, the results will only be really clear once all the penalties get handed out and they get calculated on the World Sim Series page. And, well, unless these 2 crash into each other, we're pretty much certain it's going to be Abdulskis and Barbukov. Well, Barbukov winning and Abdulskis in 2nd. We'll see what happens with that final spot on the podium. Still prizes for that one as well, as they come through the chase with, well, they'll do it one more time at the end of the next lap as they go into the braking zone. Barbukov on the outside, and Barbukov taking no risk here.
Actually, Barbukov has 10 seconds penalty for a contact with Abdulskis, so maybe I shouldn't look at the penalty table. Maybe that's gonna be sorted out after the race. I assume stewards have some sort of issues with connection. That's what happens. All penalties are all penalties gone? No, so I still see that Barbukov has a 10 seconds penalty here. Abdulskis has no penalty. Okay, we should be focusing on the race here. And results come in after this one, and that's gonna be clear. Let's let the guys battle it out on the racetrack. That's gonna be really close in the slipstream for Barbukov. Into turn 2, Abdulskis manages to stay in front. Actually, Witten is getting closer to Anisimovas on this final lap.
He was doing it the whole race, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Barbakov is actually staying behind, and he doesn't like that Abdulskis is defending because they're losing their opportunity. I don't think he knows about the 5-second penalty to Augusto, but in any case, I think that's just, he doesn't want to fight. There's no point in him fighting. They're better off trying to close up on Augusto in front. So I think Barbakov just wants to stay behind. And now that he's got that penalty, he's more at risk of dropping down positions with it. I think he'd still finish with enough of a gap anyway to be, yep, that would still be enough for him to take the championship. So he just needs to be behind, he just needs to stay behind. He'd slot into 8th spot ahead of Tarchali. So he should, oh, actually now there's been a crash and he'd be in 7th because Lang is in 8th now. So Barbakov sits on the back of Abdulski. And I don't think he's even trying to make a move. Is he? No, he's just sitting on the back of him. He's pushing him along the straight. And Abdulskis, I think he'll stay in front. He'll probably not defend this one either. Anisimovas will take the win in race number 2 ahead of Witten. And then will come Augusto in P3. But obviously still investigations to be had. Abdulskis will finish in 4th. And Barbakov will finish in 5th for now. He'll likely drop down to 7th, but that will still be enough for Barbakov to take the win of this this Conspit MX5 Cup Championship as battle for P something, P10, or a different position because drivers are dropping out now of the session as they come across the line. It's Tarchali who takes the checkered flag, and we'll check what position that actually is as everybody's disconnecting. Should be 9th, 8th, something. So we'll see that on the World Sim Series page that we do see right now. I have to pull it up myself to see, but it's Anisimovas ahead of Witten, Augusto, Abdulskis, Barbakov, Malika, Yetsi, Lang, Tarchali, Lapo, Kulagin, Mandici, Kovac, Artemanov, Marchinkovsky, Piech, and Rizzo in last spot. And it's going to be Barbakov who takes the championship ahead of Abdulskis, and we'll see who the other drivers are. And the next one coming up, as I said, it's a Conspit evening. The next one, the Conspit Formula race, coming right up. It's a different stream, so go on over to World Sim Series on Twitch or YouTube, and it will be the next stream coming right up from Silverstone, the final of that championship as well.